thought I would do like a bit of a proper introduction video, just because like the first one that I dropped, like it was just, yeah, wasn't that great. And I think that was just because, you know, under a lot of pressure, and just not really sure what to say. So basically, yeah, my name is Valestina Heather. I'm 24 years old, Samoan, got a bit of Chinese in me. I was born in New Zealand, the North Island. I was born in a little place called New Plymouth. So yeah, right up until I was 12, I grew up in New Plymouth, raised around all my cousins, like, and it was hectic because back there, like, everyone was down the road. Like, if you're from New Zealand, you know, like, back, like, your childhood would have been hectic because, like, all your cousins are, like, literally around the block, and everyone knows everyone. So that was cool. That was really cool. I grew up playing netball. I played league also with my boy cousins, and I was trash, like, straight out. I don't know what my parents were thinking. I was the worst player on the team, and I was like, there was two girls. So like one of my cousins, she was a hectic player, and it was me, and I just wasted time coming and watch me because, yeah, just disappointment, a whole lot of disappointment. Where we're from, like, I think they were the only Polynesians I knew. Like, all my cousins and stuff were like the only Polys I knew. Like, I went to school with a few Maldies. That was cool. But then when I was 12, turning 13, my parents decided to move to Australia. So we moved to Melbourne, and that transition of, you know, living in New Zealand and then moving to Melbourne was like massive. The school that I went to was full of Polynesians, which was so different to me because, like, back where I was from, the only Polynesians I knew were literally my cousins. So it was just like a massive cultural shock, like just being around multicultural people, more Tongans. I didn't even know what Tongans were till I went to school, and majority of the school were Tongans. So that was massive. But yeah, I went to school in West Melbourne. Shout out to everyone that went Grange. If you know, you know. And I loved it. Yeah, it was really cool. Very different. Got to learn a lot about different religions, different cultural backgrounds. Just, yeah, very diverse and multicultural, which was really good. It taught me a lot about different people, and yeah, like, literally, I didn't even know what Lebanese people were. Didn't even know what their country was. Like, I didn't know nothing. Like, moving here, I had no understanding. I knew that, like, what, like, I just, in my head, I'm like, I knew what white people were, they were Balangis, but to move here and, yeah, go to school with, like, Africans and Tongans and, like, Samoans and Cook Islands, and they're all, like, Australian born, yeah, it was very different, and, yeah, very eye-opening as well. So, yeah, then I dropped out of school when I was about 14, I think. Yeah, it didn't last long. I was there for probably, like, 2 years, and then I decided that it just wasn't for me. And I think I just struggled to, like, I just struggled to learn, like, the differences of being, going into school in New Zealand and then coming here. It was just like a whole new board game, and it just really didn't, I just didn't know how to cope, like, with just trying to learn new things. And yeah, I don't really know, but I just remember, like, being, like, just feeling so lost. And so I was thinking, like, yeah, maybe I could drop out of school. And yeah, basically that's what I did. So I dropped out of school when I was 14, got my first job within the week. My parents weren't that happy about it. Like, my dad, you know, he's very supportive, so he was like, he was all right. It was my mum. She was very, like, tough. She wanted me to finish school. She wanted me to, you know, get the best education. She wanted so much for me, and I think just, yeah, she just really wanted me to finish. And yeah, I remember, like, you know, shitting my pants that I was actually gonna do it, but my dad was really understanding. Like, he told me, if I don't want to go to school, that's okay, I'll figure it out. He didn't pressure me into working or nothing like that, but my mum was the one that was like, what, you think you're gonna just sit on the couch? No, if you want to leave school, go get a job. So yeah, luckily within that week, I got a job. But yeah, my dad was very supportive with that, and yeah, which was very surprising for me because, you know, he was quite strict. So I actually thought it would have been the other way around, but yeah, to my surprise, it didn't happen like that. So yeah, then I started working. I worked at Red Rooster. That was my first job. And then I did also night cleaning after that, and it was hectic because I did it with all my cousins. So all my cousins, like some of my cousins worked there, like, you know, some of my aunties and uncles worked there. It was just mad. So I did night cleaning for Vic Uni. And yeah, my cousin basically showed me the ropes. She dropped out of school as well. So, and to be honest, watching her do it, like not recommending that you drop out of school, but watching her drop out of school, get a job, kind of just gave me that like, oh fuck, she can do it, I'm gonna do that. And that's literally what I wanted to do. Like, I was just over the school thing. And yeah, so I decided, so she actually helped me get the job, my first job, which was the Red Rooster job. Then she moved on and she did night cleaning. Then she got me into that. So then, yeah, she basically trained me. We used to clean like 30 floor buildings. So we'd start at the top, work all the way down, go through all the laboratories, go through all the toilets, go through all the science labs and all that kind of jazz. So that was really cool. That was fun. I really had to learn the value of money at a very young age. Like, on the way there, my mum would be talking to me about bills. You know, she'd talk to me about my surroundings. She'd talk to me about, you know, what it's like to, you know, work in the real world, that, you know, this is not like school. So yeah, she kind of really guided me through that because, yeah, I was fresh, like 14, just didn't know nothing about that kind of thing. Didn't even know how to fill out an application, you know, the paper when you go look for a job. Didn't even know how to fill that. I couldn't even read. I could read, but I couldn't even understand what it was saying. And my mum, like, I remember, like, I'd sit in interviews and my mum would be like scratching her head, getting so irritated because, like, I'd still be like going and she'd be finished. And yeah, I just remember, like, her pep talks prior, she'd always be like, when we go in there, fucking just get it done, read it quickly, sign it, blah, blah. If you don't understand, fucking ask. And I used to just be like, okay, but like, yeah, it took me a few, but now hand me an application, too good with it. After that, I think I was about 17, left home, you know, just thought I was a big girl. Experienced that was fun. Got into warehousing at that time as well, so that was kind of like my first actual step into like the working life by myself, because like all the other jobs and that, they were like with my mom, they were with my cousins, like I always knew someone, but like, yeah, stepping out 17, so that was different. Total different world to like what I knew, but it was good. That's kind of where I learnt how to be on my own in a workplace, which is like really big. It was big for me because I was working with like 30-year-olds, I was working with like mums and dads and that, and I was the youngest. But I remember even the agency were like very concerned. They were like, you're way too young to like be signing up and working here. And yeah, I just remember like, yeah, being like always the youngest in the group and that at work. But it was good. It really shaped who I am. It gave me an understanding about, you know, the value of money and how to save, and it just, yeah, it taught me a lot, just that whole working life thing. Fast forward all the way till now. Now that I think about it, like I've worked some out the gate jobs, like from 14 till now. I even worked in the rail industry. That was mad. I really liked it. It was hard work. It really tested me. It really tested me in every single way. I did that with my sister, so I was lucky. We worked in the rail industry. We did like from retaining walls to like making the handrails. Pretty that was very different coming from warehousing, going into civil construction, going into the rail industry. That was massive. And so they did like an intake, and my mum, she was like, oh, you know, you guys should apply, blah blah blah. Not even knowing, no understanding, not even knowing what it would be like. And then yeah, we got in. We were the first intake to start in the rail, so that was mad. I was there for about probably a year, and then yeah, just gave it up. Body couldn't handle it. Got a back injury, and yeah, I think it was just too much for my body, like, to handle, like, just the heavy lifting and that. And I think it was just because like prior to that, like all the years and warehousing and all that, everything, like now I have a body of an 80-year-old. And so now I work full time. I'm a support worker, so I support disabled kids, troubled teens, And that's been really different for me. Like, I didn't think I could have the patience for that. Didn't think I could do that line of work, but a really good friend of mine hooked it up, and it's amazing because at that time, like, yeah, I really needed a job. I was off, had a really sore back, just was finding it a bit hard to find something that was more convenient for my back issue. So yeah, and yeah, basically the reason why I wanted to do this was because, yeah, just a few months ago, I just saw myself not doing great. And what I mean by that, like, I think I was just in the party buzz, just really enjoying that, and you gotta have a good time every now and then, like, but eventually, you know, I just felt like for me, I can't continue to party. Like, for me, it's like, you know, I enjoy every once a blue moon. But then, yeah, just a few months ago, just kind of saw a pattern that, like, I was always making it a priority and just not really achieving the things that I wanted to achieve. Just started tapping into all sorts of different things, being, I guess, constantly in that circle. And so, yeah, basically myself just living it up and not being okay sober. And then I was just kind of like, you know what, I need something positive. So I started thinking, and yeah, a few years ago, I think it was like 2017, I just felt like I had so much to share. Like, I just didn't really feel like I could talk to people, so I would write a lot. And you know, when I was a kid, my mum used to always encourage us to write. Like, she would always buy us journals and encourage us to write, and then even if it was just something simple, even if it was just a sentence, it was something that she really enforced. I grew up watching my mum write a lot. Like, my mum still to this day has like a whole box, and it's got journals from like year to year to year. Like, she literally would always make time to write. And I remembered, like, I think 2017, that was a really big year for my family. And I remember just feeling like I needed to find an outlet. I just didn't know what it was. And then I remembered, like, people blogged. And I didn't know too much about that, but I knew that it was free, like, through WordPress. So, yeah, I literally, this one time, I was just at the library and I Googled how to make a blog website through WordPress. Did that, and I would just write on there. It just became very therapeutic for me to just log in, write about it, stuff that my family and I would go through, just things I felt like I could not tell anyone. I thought I could openly write it, and I wanted to do that because it was more like an online journal for me. Like, and you know, it's weird, like, people would write to me and like tell me that they could relate, that they'd been through something similar, and I didn't know how to feel about that because I was just like, holy rain, like, it was just something really good. Like, blogging just became something very therapeutic for me. And even though I would write about just some of the worst things that we went through as a family, a lot of families could relate. A lot of people didn't know, like, people that knew me even didn't know me like that. They were just like, I didn't know you were going through that. Like, wow, like, I wouldn't have thought. And yeah, and then I thought, like, so I've been doing that. So I was doing that for like 2 years, like, just blogging, just writing my life. Whenever I felt down, I'd write. And I'll put the link down below just in case you want to have a sus. But yeah, I did that for about 2 years, and then I don't know, this year I just kind of felt like, you know what, I'm done with the writing. Like, it's not that it's not therapeutic for me anymore, it's just that I've been learning new ways to cope, and I've been learning new ways to be okay with, like, if I go through something, like, I know, like, I found something that works a bit better than writing it. And so I always had this idea at the back of my head. Like, I always knew that I wanted to make videos. I didn't know I was going to be on YouTube, but it just feels like, yeah, it just felt right. Like, like I said, you know, a few months ago when I just felt like I was going down an ugly path, I remembered that I wanted to do this, but I just did not know it was going to be now. And it's so weird how that happened, because I remember just feeling like I gotta change, like I gotta really change some things. And I remember praying about it, like just finished partying the whole weekend, and I remember like I was on this hectic come down too, and I just remember praying to God, and I was just like, man, I need you to put something in my head. I don't know what it is, but whatever you put in my head, like I'll run with it. I just need something positive. I need something that I can do that's going to fill my time. And I remember just praying and crying, like I'm just over the party thing, like just give me something a bit better than that. Like a few weeks later, it just came to my head. I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot I could make videos. And I remember just, yeah, telling my mum and dad about it, and they were like, do it, like that'd be really cool. And it shocked me. I was just like, what? Like, what'd you say? Really glad I come from a supportive family that understand what I'm trying to do. And I was really surprised that they wanted to support it, because, you know, I come from a very private family. Like my parents raised us like, you do not speak on what happens in this house. But I think as the years went on, and as I got older and older, I really stood for what I believed was right. Sometimes it come off to them like I was disrespectful, but that was never my intention. My thing was really just, this is how I feel, and I need you to understand that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to speak down on your parenting, but what I'm trying to do is tell you how I feel. And if you can't listen to that, then I just can't be a part of this. Like, so that's basically how I would look at it. And yeah, it took me years. Like my parents thought I was always disrespecting them, but it was never like that. In my head, it was just like, let me have a voice. Like I have a voice for a reason. Like, and I really played on that, like probably a bit too much, because, you know, I did that once I was 18, I did that whole card. So I think they came to, like they really came to, they really understood. It's taken them years to like get it, but they get it now. Like right now, my parents are very accepting of where we're at, just the fact that, you know, we want to be open about these kind of things. And I know it's been hard for them to accept, because, you know, being private people, they don't want people knowing our business and things like that. But to me, it's not even about knowing business. It's just, these things happen, we're not the only ones, and that's how I feel about it. Then again, I'm still very private, like very, very private, but I think like I choose to speak on things when I feel like things aren't right, or when I feel like things need to be said. That's when I say it. So that's basically the whole drive behind the YouTube thing. And saying that, I just want to say a massive thank you. I'm so humbled by you guys' posts about my stuff, just you guys sharing it, all the love on YouTube already. Like we don't have that many subscribers, but I mean, like the comments are just amazing. Like I really feel touched, and I'm humbled that you guys even tap in, that you guys even watch, you guys tune in. Thank you so much for sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. I got a lot to come. I got a lot of videos that are coming. Also, if you have any really weird topics or really good topics that you want to you want me to shed light on, or if you feel like there's things, if you even have a story that you want to share, like send me a DM on the Realist Note Cat page. I'll message you back, and we can link up and we can have a chat about it. I think it's really important for us to teach our next generation about truths, and about, you know, really stepping into your light and being who you are, being allowed to speak on certain things, but also changing the mindsets of our parents, of our grandparents. You know, we need to change the stigma of everything remaining silent. And it's something I grew up with that is now changing, but I want to help change other people's mindsets, and that's what we're trying to do. Change the mindsets, stop the stigma of staying silent, you know, raising a lot of awareness around mental health, around, you know, just how to understand your kids a bit better. Not even your kids, maybe your siblings, anyone. Yeah, basically that's why I decided to do this. I just wanted something positive to do in my spare time. So yeah, when I'm not working full time, I'm editing my videos. And so that's what I wanted. Plus I wanted to step out of my comfort zone to link up with different people. There's so many people that have a story that could help somebody. No, I'm not a psychologist or I'm not a counselor, but I have ears and I can listen. Like, I love to listen to stories, and I love to share experiences. I love to hear experiences from different people. I've met so many people from all walks of life, and you'd just be so surprised with things that they've had to experience and live through. And I think if I can link up with people and have a chat, and like you just happen to be listening tonight and you could relate and you feel like you're not by yourself, then that's exactly why I'm doing this, so that there are more stories out there, and so that you do know that you can speak your truth, and you do know that you can share however you feel. I want to be able to start a wave where we're talking about the uncomfortable things that we don't speak about. And what I mean by that is bringing out some of the stuff that we throw under the rug. Why do I want to do that? Because it's killing off a lot of people. There's not enough awareness around a lot of the topics that we're not allowed to speak on. We're not allowed to talk about things that happen to us. We're just not allowed to talk about so many things. And why silence that? It's not helping. It's really not helping. Like, us teaching to keep silencing, it's not getting us anywhere. The suicide rates are just way too high. So if I can do my part and just create a platform where I can create a safe space to have a chat and to just, I don't know, hear a story and be able to share that story, and if it can help someone, then man, that's exactly why I'm trying to do this. So please get behind it, please support. Basically, just trying to change mindsets. We're trying to change the fact that we shouldn't be silenced. You know, we got the next gen coming up, and we have to teach them that it's okay to speak their truth, speak the truth. You know, we come from homes where they always like, tell the truth, but to a certain extent. Why do we do that? It's not right. I'm not saying go and blab everything out. That's not what I'm saying. You know, we don't feel comfortable to do that because of the fact that we come from homes that do not allow us to speak. So, like I said, if that's you, like if you have a story, and if you want to be anonymous, like literally DM me. I can share it. I can speak on topics that you don't feel like you can come out and say, but if you want me to, all you have to do is send me a message and I'll get onto that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned. I got hectic videos coming on ways. Peace.